Hello everyone and welcome to Canteen Cup. My name is Scott and today a little bit of a continuation of some of the technical things that I planned on talking about. And today I want to talk about the Raspberry Pi. In this case I have a Raspberry Pi 4. And this is a really good homesteading. It's a good neo-pioneering. It's a good preparedness computer. And in reality, for most things that you probably are doing on a computer, it's more than fast enough. With this, you can get online. It's got a built-in Wi-Fi adapter. I have, I don't know if you can see it, but up here is Firefox. So you have a browser. You can get several browsers at work on the Raspberry Pi. It has an Office suite, so you can word process, you can spreadsheet, you can read PDFs, and you can store it. This thing will take thumb drives, it'll take hard drives. But one of the neat things about it is it has very low power consumption. In fact, right now, both the monitor, which is a 7-inch monitor, and you can get bigger ones. I have one that I did a review on before, a 13-inch one, but I don't have the right video adapter to match it to the Raspberry Pi 4. And that is the Raspberry Pi 4 takes what's called a micro HDMI adapter, and the cables I have for the bigger screen, the Kagoda 13-inch, it takes a mini HDMI adapter and then it goes down to a micro, and I don't happen to have that cable. I currently use that bigger screen with my computer. But that being said, that one also will run off of USB power. If I had the right cable, I can actually hook both monitors up to the Raspberry Pi, and I can actually have a dual monitor, this small screen and the bigger screen. But what you're seeing right now is the Raspberry Pi 4 and the monitor are being run off of this battery pack. This is my cell phone charger battery pack. I think it's 12 or 15,000 milliamp hours. It'll run for a long time. This is a solar panel, so it'll recharge. But no big clunky power supplies, no off-the-wall things. In other words, anything you can plug two USB-A type connectors into will run this. Now, this is a 7-inch monitor. Let's see if I can do this without destroying everything. And what I have done is I have mounted the Raspberry Pi 4 to the back of this. There's mounting holes and you have to get some screws, but that's it. And then this is a GPS right here. Mainly what I use it for is when I'm outside is as a clock. So my clock automatically updates when there's a good GPS signal, time and date. Okay. So I wanted to talk about this a little bit. And this is the controller I use for it. It has a rechargeable battery. And if you look right there, that's a USB. I think that's a mini. It's either a mini or a micro. I always get them confused. But it just recharges again. It can also recharge off of this. So I don't have to keep any extra batteries. And this is a rechargeable, renewable source. It's got a keypad. Now, and then the mouse pad is over here. Now you can get a full-size keyboard for this. The Raspberry Pi takes any Bluetooth keyboard. I just chose this one because it's very portable, and for those of you that remember the old Blackberries, this keyboard has a very similar feel, and with a little bit of practice you can actually get pretty fast with this. But you can get a full-size keyboard and you can get a mouse. I don't know if there's any Bluetooth mice available, but you can get a plug-in mouse. There's USB ports on the back of the Raspberry Pi. I think there's a total of four USB ports, and you can plug a mouse into that, no problem. You can also plug in a thumb drive. Anything that goes into a USB port, you can pretty much use with the Raspberry Pi. So this thing will run a long time off of this battery. I've had it plugged in for a little while, and I still have 2 bars left, but I can recharge this. One of the things that you can also do, like I said, it has Firefox. Let's see if I can hold it right. Let's see. Come on, you. All right. Sometimes my... And then here is the office stuff. Let's see if I can get you a little closer. This is Libra. I don't know if you can see it. But that's all the stuff that's available. Now, Libra is a free multi-platform office app. And just for an example, you can put on Writer. If you can see, it looks pretty much like the old Windows. And again, I'm going to get a little closer. See if I can. There you go. And it's a full feature. It's a full featured word processor. It's free. You can also get it for Windows. I think you can also get it for Macs. So you have that. And then let me go up here. Sometime. And you see you have email. You have, here's Mozilla Firefox, and you can import your settings if you use Firefox into there. And so this thing can do everything you need to do, but it uses a lot less power. Now, besides plugging it into a battery like this is something I keep in my get home bag or my bug out bag, and it's a cigarette lighter, 2 USB port charger, which means I can take this, plug both of these cables into here, and then plug it into a cigarette lighter in my car, and I can power my Raspberry Pi. You typically cannot do that with full-size laptops. They take too much power, and usually they have to have more than 12 volts. A lot of them are up around 18. This runs off of 5 volts. Another thing you can do is, this is just a standard wall wart. It's a USB 3 wall wart, so I can plug both those into here and plug it into the wall. I have another one of these in my get home bag that is just a little bit bigger than this, and not only is it a plug-in power supply, but it's also like a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, so I can run it a little bit not on the system. And then finally, I have this thing in the background, and that's a big lithium phosphorus battery. I think it's like 44 amp hours, and this has a, I don't know if you can see it with the light, but that's a cigarette lighter port there, and I've got 4 USB ports there. And then this recharges off of the car. It recharges off of main supply, commercial power. It also, I have a 120 watt solar panel that I can recharge that off of solar. So that being said, this little Raspberry Pi can run off a lot of different things very easily, and it uses very little power. Looking at my, I still got 2 bars, and this thing probably wasn't fully charged when I started this. But for those that are going off grid, going you know, the neo-pioneering route, or those that recognize that computers are very important in today's world on many fronts, that having a computer that can run off of very little power may be a good thing. Like I said, you can get a bigger screen for this. That 13.5-inch one, which I think I reviewed it a week or so ago, and you're good to go. Now, how much does it all cost? It's kind of a little pricey. I bought a kit for the Raspberry Pi 4, and it came with a case, a little fan, had extra cables. It had this little switch here to turn it on and off. And I think I paid about $100 for that. I think you can buy just the basic Raspberry Pi 4 for about $45 or $50, but then I got some of the accessories to make it nicer. This 7-inch screen, and I forgot to mention, this is a touch screen, was about $77. So about $170 you have this, but you can get cheaper stuff. This will also run, you know, one of these monitors over here, because it's just an HDMI plug. So I wanted to bring this to your attention, in that you can use this. This is a very good homestead computer. You can word process on it. You can store stuff. You can put thumb drives hooked up to it to keep some of your documents. These things don't have a lot of built-in memory, and I think you can even get a portable drive and hook up to it. But it uses very little power. Like I said, I'm using this little battery here, and it's still got 2 dots out of 4 on it. And you can use it in your car. But in today's world, with all the stuff we have, I have lots of PDFs for emergency preparedness that I keep, that now I can put on just one little thumb drive and just plug it into this. And as long as I have 12 volts, actually as long as I have 5 or 6 volts somewhere, I can see it. And it's relatively inexpensive. And like I said, if all you're really doing is basic word processing, and you're checking your email, and you're doing a little bit of internet searching, then this is actually kind of plenty for you. But when you start getting into the bigger computers and the bigger laptops, they are energy hogs. And they use up your power. And if you're depending on off-grid power sources like solar or batteries or your car, that could be a big drain on your system, one way or the other. So that's really all I got. I wanted to, showcase this, and that for a preparedness family that's really trying to, live with a lot less, this is a very good option for you. I play with mine. Like I said, I can do a lot of different things for it. You can, for those of you that have smartphones, most of your smartphones today can become a Wi-Fi hotspot. And so all you have to do is turn on the hotspot on your phone, and then hook it up to the, connect this to your hotspot, and now you have internet, and it's your phone. Really good thing. So that's all I have for today. I'm going to try and get another couple of videos out today. I know I've kind of fallen behind, but between my internet being choked and a lot of work I've been doing around the house, I've been rather busy. So that's all I got. Take a look at this. Amazon has these things all day long. It's just a great little computer that you can have, and especially, it should be a part of your bug out plans, because it gives you a way to still keep a lot of information with you, and gives you a little bit bigger screen than your phone, and it does a lot more when it comes to some of the apps it has. So that's all I got. You all stay safe and stay secure, and we'll see you.